Hi there guys, my name's John from ActiveJR.com, and in this video I'm going to take you through my hands-on experience with the Ikea smart blinds. Now I popped into my local Ikea store to pick up a pair of the 80cm wide blackout versions. Now I've paired these in the same window frame and I've paired them to the same remote. I've also set them up with the Ikea Home Smart app so I can control them together. Just bear in mind this is only an hands-on review of my first few days of using them, and a full review will be coming out over the next couple of weeks. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and also if you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up as it's greatly appreciated. Also, if you've got a comment, leave it in the comment sections below, or if you've got something that you want covered in the review, I'll do my best to accommodate and just leave a comment again. Thanks very much. Let's get straight into the video. So starting with the unboxing, you get the Ikea smart blind. You also get some mounting brackets, along with a battery, a USB charging cable, a signal repeater, and a remote control. You also get a power point which you plug the single repeater in, and the single repeater has also got a USB port so you can charge the battery using the USB cable while the signal repeater is still plugged in. Now moving on to design elements. Now we all know Ikea for its simple and basic designs, and the smart blinds are no different. Ikea has made the blackout version of a woven material that only comes in grey. It doesn't look overly premium, but what do you expect from smart blinds at this price point? At the top of the blinds you get an aluminium casing which is really sturdy and really well made. Inside here you've got the blind spindle along with the motor. On the front of the smart blinds you also find the battery compartment along with two small buttons that you use to operate the blinds, but also use them to pair as well. The included accessories have some nice design elements. As I've already said, the single repeater has a USB port which allows you to charge the included battery while everything's still plugged in. The other nice touch, the remote control attaches to the wall magnetically, so this allows you to use it and easily take it away if you want to sit on the sofa or you want to use it around the house. Now installing the blinds is just like installing any other blinds. You first install the two mounting brackets. Now the one thing that's worth noting is you have to provide your own screws. While some will see this as an inconvenience, I think this makes sense, simply because the different screw fittings need to be used depending on the surface you're mounting them on. For instance, I used heavy duty plasterboard cavity expanding screws that ensured a solid and secure fit. Now once the mounting brackets are fixed in place, the next step is to mount the smart blind to the brackets. You do this by pressing a button on the brackets and pushing up. It's that simple and everything's installed. Installing the remote mount to the wall is done with some screws. Again, Ikea do not supply the screws, but you can use your own depending on the fixture you're going to use. Now once that's all set up, all you then is install the battery, and the remote is already paired, so if you don't plan on using the Ikea Home Smart app, then you're all good to go, and it's simple as just moving them up and down. Now if you're wanting to use them with the Ikea Home Smart app or any of the smart home platforms that they use, you need to pair them with a gateway. So you do need to have a gateway in order to connect them all up. And now whilst the physical install is easy, this is where things become a bit more complicated and where I found a lot of trouble. First of all, connecting the blinds requires 3 steps. You first pair the remote with the gateway, then you pair the remote with the signal repeater, then pair the remote with the blinds again. This all seems a little bit complicated, and I'm surprised Ikea have not removed some of the steps or made it a little bit simpler, especially for a smart home product. However, it's not just the amount of steps that's an issue, it's the amount of tries it took for me to get the smart blinds connected. When I was setting them up, it took me over 50 minutes and 10 attempts to get these blinds connected to the Bradford gateway. I also had to reset everything after the first pairing because of issues with dual control within the Ikea smart app. This is not a great experience, and I think this will lead to a lot of people returning them. As I was using 2 Ikea smart blinds paired together, I also needed to add the second blind. However, I can report this is a lot simpler. All you need to do is add the new blind to the existing room. You can add up to 4 blinds, and this is very simple. You don't have to mess about pairing to the gateway or the single repeater. All you need to do is add that blind to the remote. The last thing you need to do when you're setting them up is to set the drop length. Now the online instructions and the instructions that come with the blinds say that you can do this with the remote. I tried for over 15 minutes to set the drop length with the remote with no luck at all. It's only until after I set them up within the app that it told me that you could only set the drop length using the controls that feature on the blinds. Once I did that, I was set up within a couple of minutes. So the process wasn't overly difficult, but the instructions don't appear to be in line with what actually you need to do. Now moving on to apps and features, I'm going to leave this section for the full review, but I'm going to run through some of my first impressions. Now it works with Google Home, Alexa, but HomeKit is not coming until later on this year, and that's a real shame. You can control the apps via the blinds, the remote control, or the app, or your voice. If you're a user of the Trad-free app already, then you'll know it's basic and nothing changes with the blinds. The app has a nice animation though, which shows the progress of the blinds when it's moving up or down. Ikea says you can pair 4 blinds to one remote, and I've paired 2 so far. I will try and pair 4 and see what the results are. Within the app, because I've got 2 blinds paired, I can control them together, so I can move them up and down. I also can control them individually if I want to do, and that's really useful. The blinds do a decent job at blocking out the light, but if you want perfect, then these will not be 100% and you won't be 100% happy with them. I also like that I can carry the remote around, useful when you're on your sofa or if you're in the kitchen and you want to close the blinds, you've not got your phone to hand but the remote's nearby. I also find them fairly quiet to operate and will open and close very quickly. And now a few people have already asked me, can you charge these whilst the battery is inside the blinds? And the simple answer is no. That's because the power contacts and the charging port are on the same side of the battery. So when you place it in, it's facing inwards. So there's no way to charge at the same time. Okay, so my first impressions of the Ikea smart blinds. Overall, I'm impressed with the build quality for this price point. I was expecting to feel and look cheap, but they're not. The blind does a good job at blocking out light when they're closed. The frame does not rattle or move around when you're in operation, and the motor noise is acceptable. But this is a big but. Based on my hands-on experience so far with the Ikea smart blinds, they're let down by the software. The setup process is a total pain in the backside and the software interface is very clunky. It feels like the Ikea development team have got a lot to do in terms of cutting down on some of the process to get these paired and also using them. They just don't feel fully complete yet. It's also disappointing that after the delays, that HomeKit support is still missing in action. Another call out is the FAQ online instructions could do with a revisit, as they're not overly clear, with conflicts between the app, paper and online versions, which I think will cause a lot of customer confusion. If you're not someone that's got a lot of perseverance, as soon as you run into trouble, you may just return these thinking they're faulty. Now, while this may seem like I bash these blinds and I'm not impressed, I am impressed with the build quality I've already said. I'm impressed with the price point of how well these are made and how well they're put together. I just think Ikea have got to really think about how they pull the software together and how they improve the customer user experience. Now, I have reached out to Ikea to answer some of the questions and concerns that I've got, and maybe these are a faulty pair, I don't know, and in the full review I'll certainly give a more detailed opinion. So guys, that's the end of the video. If you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe for when the full review comes out, and also if you want anything covered in the full review, leave it in the comment section below and I'll try and do my best to accommodate. So thanks very much, I'll speak to you soon.